Welcome back to Championship Court. If you were planning on seeing Max Manthau and Tanner Tomasi, that match actually going on Players Court. You can find that stream on our YouTube channel at APP TV. On this Championship Court, you're going to get to see Sofia Seving, the reigning gold medalist from New York, 25 years old from Boca Raton. She is going to be taking on Simone Jardim. Jardim just getting to court. She wrapped up her round of 16 match not that long ago. And this is really, Chad, kind of a matchup of the OG versus the next gen, if you will.
And this is a repeat matchup from New York. Jardim had chances in New York to kind of put a little bit more pressure on Seving, even knock her out. But Seving, as we've seen her come from behind multiple times this year, if you give her an opening, she makes it very, very difficult to get by her.
Where do you think Jardim may change the game plan from New York?
Well, talking with Jardim and talking about her continuing to play singles, she's feeling the best that she has in a long time, getting to a lot more balls. So look for her to kind of extend some points, even try to go baseline to baseline with Seving, but choose the right ball to come forward. We do know that Seving's strength is her ability to really hit that heavy, deep approach shot and come up and really take control of the kitchen. Seving came in to 2025 as a bit of a surprise in January, but really established herself quickly. And I think, initially she was playing with a paddle tech in singles, had a little bit more power, really being able to hit those penetrating ground strokes. She made that switch to Franklin. It's got more touch, more feel for her up at the kitchen line, but we're seeing a little bit less in the closing power. So I think that's exactly why we're going to see Seving come forward more to try and take advantage of that touch and control up at the kitchen line.
Seving, sponsored by Franklin. You can see it on the dress and the visor as well. But do you like that switch to the Franklin paddle in terms of what it means for her game versus the paddle tech?
I think, she's playing with a more elongated version here this week, and I think it has a little bit more power than previously what we saw the last couple of tournaments. Yes and no. I think she had very good control up at the kitchen line already with those volleys. The power and like I said, that deep penetrating ground stroke was kind of what was really putting her into a good position. And I think we saw a little bit of a stumble too in the middle, that loss to Pei Cao, and then getting pushed to 3 a couple of times through those draws. Was just her getting used to the paddle switch, going from paddle tech to Franklin. We're now 3 or so months into this new sponsorship, so I think she's starting to get that feel for the paddle. I watched her in the round of 16. The power's there, the touch is there. I think Jardim is really going to have to focus on disrupting the timing of Seving. We have seen her kind of struggle a little bit on shorter angled balls where she's not going side to side on the baseline.
Well, you won't see Seving's dress at the APP Tour Store, but there are still plenty of other merch that you are going to want to check out because the APP Tour Store is now open online. Visit the appstore.global to get all your APP gear today. You want to get your merch? We want to get playing here on Championship Court in this matchup between Seving and Jardim. Now, if you've been with us throughout the course of the tour season, you know that singles day tends to be the one with the most chaos. So far, we've seen 2 women's singles matchups here on Championship Court, Chad. But in the women's versus the men's bracket, who is the most susceptible to upsets in this tournament, do you think?
I think it's still the men. I think the gap is closing way, way faster on the men's side. We have already seen, it's not an upset because Amanda Hendry is the 3 seed. Pei Cao was the 14 seed. But, Cao came into this one as somewhat of a favorite to make it back to a final. And Hendry ended up taking her out 14-16, 16-14, 17-15. So it's a big win there from Hendry.
Seving pushed to 3 games in her round of 16 matchup. Ended up dropping the first 15-8. Good placement there as Seving right on the kitchen line.
Yeah, I think we're going to continue to see Seving coming forward, really trying to put the pressure on Jardim.
Jardim has had a somewhat routine day up to this point, moving through both of her matches in straight game affairs. Miss hit.
Volley.
Yep. Not one that you see Seving miss very often.
1-2.
Into the net on the forehand, side out, Seving up an early 3-1.
Yeah, ball just stayed down. Jardim expecting it to come up higher. It came out flat off the paddle. Contact on the top of the ball.
3-1.
Right in the back corner for the point for Jardim. Love that approach.
Yeah, that's where Jardim needs to roll that ball when Seving comes forward. She rolls it, gets that ball to bounce. It's not attackable for Seving.
Jardim doing a really nice job going corner to corner, but to go back to the previous point, I think also what was so impressive about that roll is the pace. It's so easy for players to overhit that ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to spin and touch.
Overhead put away in the corner. A couple of those balls painting the outside line.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss hit there from Seving, but the angle helps her out there. Good deep balls to the backhand side of Jardim.
How many times do we talk about the angle being the most important part of an overhead put away?
Well, especially in singles as well. I mean, one person covering the whole court, tough to do. That ball stayed down right there for Seving as well.
It's been an excellent breakout year on tour for Sofia Seving. She has made Championship Sunday in every single tour stop. Has a pair of silvers, the rest are gold. Cross court put away. A little frustration from Jardim after the fact.
Yeah, perfect height there for the volley for Seving.
You see those 4 golds, 1 in women's singles. That is the most on tour this season. The silver's coming in the opening tournament of the year against Megan Fudge, and then back in Fort Lauderdale against Pei Cao as that return is long.
So just catching the back of the line.
Seving definitely skirting with the margins so far in this opening game.
6-4.
Oh, Seving read it right, but another volley coming out flat into the tape.
Well, almost similar volley to that higher forehand that Seving had before. She takes a little bit bigger swing on this one. Jardim keeps it down low, a couple of inches above the net. So as Seving comes through with a bigger swing, hits the top of the ball.
So smart, tripling up on the forehand side.
Yeah, you saw Seving recovering back to the middle, trying to anticipate that Jardim was going to go wide to the backhand. Like you said, Doring, tripling up on that forehand, choosing the right ball to come forward.
Forcing Seving back in the backhand error as Jardim takes her first lead of the game.
Well, in the last couple of points as well, Jardim's been able to take those ground strokes at the baseline, just inside the baseline even. It puts more pressure on Seving. Ooh. Seving will take that one.
Well, you don't become the winningest woman in terms of gold medals for no reason in talking about the decision and the tripling up and the craftiness and the smarts of Simone Jardim. Yes, she's got the skills. She's always had them. But the savviness, for me, is what sets Jardim apart.
All right, she's also had 20 more years of life experience than.
Well, listen, I'm not touching that one.
I can say that.
You
one.
can. I'm not going
to. At home, but it's okay.
I feel like you should be the one giving her all the compliments, in fairness, but, you know, you guys do you.
Just why. Good approach there, again, from Jardim. What's
been different about these last handful of points that has allowed Jardim to take control?
She's taking that ball at the baseline or just inside the baseline. It puts more pressure on Seving. She's now not able to hit that approach shot. And that one there, you see she tries to take an approach, but she's a step behind the baseline, so she can't get up to the kitchen line.
And Jardim making a difficult pass look easy, threading the needle off the backhand wing. It's a 3-point lead. Make it 4-point as Seving calls a timeout.
Jardim took a couple of years off singles. He was contemplating retirement back in 2022, 2023 due to injuries. Now spending a lot of time on the court, training singles, feeling good.
Where do you see that show up the most in her play?
Conditioning-wise. Now, like I've spoken to her about today, she's getting to more balls. She feels like she's moving better on the court.
And she's worked herself a lead here in game number 1 over Sofia Seving. Seving, the top seed. First time she's been the top seed in the tournament. What adjustment would you like to see Seving make coming out of this timeout?
Well, I think she's got to try to go for a little bit more on the return, push Jardim back behind the baseline. Wow.
Wow. Right now, Jardim doing just about everything right.
Well, to be fair, that's Jardim's favorite shot right there, the forehand on the run. I mean, the majority of tennis players, that's their favorite shot, forehand on the run. But an excellent kind of aggressive roll there from Jardim. Doesn't overhit it for the pass shot.
I was going to say, if my roll looked like that, it'd be my favorite shot, too. Is that one whipped a little wide? Seving able to finally add one more to her tally.
8-12.
That ball stayed down again there on the backhand side for Seving. You see the frustration.
If the balls are not bouncing in the way that you expect them to, what do you have to do to avoid making errors?
Well, the focus just becomes, getting the paddle head even lower. It's easier to adjust coming up than it is to try and go down.
It's like fielding a ball.
Yep.
Tried to make the adjustment there, but pulled it long. As Jardim has a game point.
14-8. Point, game, 15-8.
Another ball sails long. Jardim takes the first 15-8, and she is one game away from knocking off the top seed here at the Zimmer Biomet APP Newport Beach Open.
People play pickleball for exercise, competition, or to hang out with friends. What your reason is doesn't matter to Gamma. What matters is that you play, that you enjoy playing with passion, and you have so much fun you can't wait to play again. At Gamma, we offer paddles perfect for all levels, including yours, because pickleball is about you, the player, and what feels right. Pickleball is your game. Make Gamma your paddle. Play to live, live to play. Gamma Pickleball.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous Relaxed Fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
Back to action here on Championship Court. Simone Jardim taking the opening game over the top seed Sofia 15-8 as Seving coming forward with authority there.
Yeah, much more aggressive with that approach, coming forward to the kitchen line there, is able to take that ball inside the court, puts the pressure on. Good deep ball to Jardim.
Is coming forward going to be the key for Seving here in game two?
Absolutely. Like, can't rush it right there. She rushed that one. You see the contact, the top of the ball. That's that ball getting a little too close to the body.
I've seen a handful of uncharacteristic errors from Seving. A couple of missed volleys, that missed ground stroke. Oh, what
nice
a get.
Volley.
Oh,
wow.
my goodness.
Excellent volley right there from Seving. That ball's back behind her. Jardim thought she had the passing shot.
Full extension. You'd be picking my shoulder back up off the court after that.
2-1.
Jardim giving the angle back right there. Smart on the previous volley. She didn't, it was below the net. Jardim didn't try to do too much with it. She pushed it back deeper. That forced Seving to have to move back in the court, hitting that forehand a little off balance.
And Seving, another volley has gone begging.
Well, and again, the experience of Jardim. She's back deeper right there. She's not going to be able to hit that passing shot on the backhand off the back foot, so she adds the roll.
All right, now trading blows.
Yeah, Seving much more aggressive with the ground strokes, going for more, adding that power. Still a little difficult to kind of judge the wind here, but after game one, I kind of feel like the wind is behind that side that Seving's on right now.
Pushed wide from Jardim as Seving back in front, 4-3. Seving seems to be one of those players that enjoys playing with the wind as opposed to into it.
Well, especially on the singles side.
Push down the line as Jardim draws level.
Oh, excellent hold there from Jardim as well. He saw the paddle out in front. Didn't commit to that shot early, so it kept Seving guessing.
4-4.
I think that's an important point because Seving wasn't that far away as that ball right down the line, just maybe a step.
Ooh,
That time Jardim not able to thread the needle on the other side.
Yeah, good touch volley there from Seving, putting Jardim on the run. Big forehands there from Jardim, corner to corner. And you see the difference, too, of being able to take a ball at or inside the baseline or taking it 1 to 2 feet behind the baseline. Taking it up at that baseline, you're able to just cut down the recovery, cut down the reaction time of your opponent.
Sails a little bit on Jardim. Back and forth we go here in game number 2. Seving trying to force a winner-take-all game number 3. Same story thus far as her round of 16 matchup. She dropped the opening game there, had to win the last 2, gets a gift there on the missed return. Backhand into the tape.
Trading blows right there. When it looked like Jardim had a little bit of an advantage, Seving hits a couple of deeper balls there. That last ball deep kind of slides through the court. That's why Seving's so dangerous. You feel like, you know, she's behind, and then she can just step it up one more gear.
Jardim taking a timeout, Seving with a 3-point lead. You talked about Seving moving forward as being the most important part of game number 2. We haven't seen a ton of that, though. She's been content to trade ground strokes with Jardim for the majority of game number 2. Why is that working here?
Well, she's getting the advantage on the ground strokes right now. She's pushing Jardim further back behind the baseline. So Jardim's not able to put as much pressure on Seving, forcing her side to side.
What's the key to Jardim relieving some of the pressure?
Well, big return here that enables her to get back up to that baseline. She can create that shorter ball from Seving as well, gives her the approach.
Trying to keep it deep, pulls it just wide as Seving's lead grows.
Well, Seving, definite targeting of the backhand here of Jardim. Oh, landed on the lawn.
Seving finally able to put it away. She's the first to 10. Another miss off of the backhand wing.
And timing just off a little bit here for Jardim on that backhand side. We're seeing it get a little deeper to the body, catching a little late. That ball's flattening out.
Beautiful touch from Seving as she drops it just beyond the kitchen line, and she's opened up a 7-point advantage here in the second game.
I think there's definitely an end advantage here now as we're seeing this one continue. Side Seving's on, that win behind just a little bit.
As this one trends toward a game number 3, you have to think that's going to factor into how that one's going to go with the end change. It'll come at 8. Wide open court made for the easy put away. This is one-way traffic here in the second game. Seving game point 14-5. Did you see this coming?
I did not. But I knew Seving was going to put a little bit more pressure on in game 2 for sure.
Ooh. What a shot by Jardim right on the side tee, and it freezes Seving at 14, but still trailing by 8. Jardim.
6-14.
So much spin. Great effort by Jardim, but not able to consolidate as Seving rather gets back on serve.
Yeah, an excellent volley again on the backhand side with the backspin. Jardim, nothing she could do once she got to it. It was just an effort to get there.
I'm gonna bring up game point number 2 for the top seed.
14-6.
Jardim says too good as Seving shuts the door on game number 2. We will go the distance here on Championship Court. Game 3 next.
See ya, hun. Dad, let's fix that knee.
I'll make an appointment.
For more natural feel and a faster recovery, we're going to use Rosa Robotics and Persona, the personalized knee.
Remember your exercises, Dad. Looking like yourself again.
Feeling like it too.
Are you ready to meet your grandpa?
Looking for ways to keep active and mobile? Try Penetrex. Penetrex is different than other products with no greasiness, irritation, or unpleasant odors. Made with unique ingredients, it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Penetrex, the #1 online rated joint and muscle cream.
All of our women's singles quarterfinals are set. Kat Stewart already punching her ticket into the semifinals, taking down Amanda Hendry, who topped Pei Cal. So you said that the men's side was ripe for upsets. Maybe not upsets, but some unexpected results here so far on the women's singles side.
Well, Katarina Stewart is very dangerous on the women's side. I think, easily she could be a higher seed than 11. Actually injured herself here in 2024. Stepped on another player's foot as she was going for and around the post. Ended up rolling her ankle.
Let's say as that lands just wide, as someone who has rolled an ankle on court and torn tendons and had an avulsion fracture, I know all too well how difficult that injury can be to come back from.
1-0.
Yeah, good approach shot there from Seving. Created the shorter ball from Jardim.
And how important is it if you are Sofia Seving to get the early lead on the side of the court that has been playing less favorably so far?
I mean, if she can get the lead on this side, it definitely puts her in a good position. It's also Jardim is the one that really needs to try and get herself a big lead.
Stung that one.
Good choice there from Jardim to let that ball bounce.
A little extra oomph on it. The ground strokes have been problematic for Jardim over the last game and a half. Has it been the power of serving, or is it something else in the technique of Jardim right now?
I think that the timing's definitely off just a little bit, but serving has made a definite decision to target the backhand a little bit more of Jardim. But I think too is that the wind is so unpredictable here on championship court right now.
Beautiful
Excellent
movement
volley
there from Seving.
Yeah, excellent volley, excellent approach there from Seving.
And to speak to the wind, it feels like the tournaments this year where we've seen the most chaos, wind has been the primary weather factor that has given players problems.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, especially in a situation where it's swirling and you feel like, you figured out the wind, and then all of a sudden it's a different.
And just when you think you figured out Jardim, she rips out that.
Yeah, Jardim hitting a slap forehand here. Difficult to do it from that position. That's why Seving shaded down the line. Trading ground strokes right there, blow for blow.
Take a breath. Longest rally of the match is won by Jardim. She is within one.
Yeah, inside-out forehand there from Jardim. Went for a little bit more on it. It was flatter as well, so we saw it slide through the court.
3-4.
And gift there for Seving.
And Jardim staying a little too tall there. Hits the top of the ball.
The end change will come first to 8.
5-3.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Mark that point down.
Wide open court there for Seving after an excellent approach ball to the backhand.
I just took her eyes off the ball to see how much open court she had in front of her.
4-5.
Didn't miss that time.
Side out, point 6.
Yeah, Seving looks like she's kind of just up the power level since game one. Really going for a lot more on the ground stroke. She's hitting everything pretty clean right now, which is allowing her to go for more.
Sabalenka style. When things go bad, go harder.
Ooh, just wide.
Clipped the tape and pushed it wide. It keeps Jardim within striking distance. This is just a one-point affair. So this right now, anybody's match.
5-6.
Beautiful angle there from Jardim to pull level.
Yeah, another inside-out forehand there from Jardim, and again, flat and hard.
Seving lay in wait, put it away. She's back in front.
Seving just kind of adjusting the knee right there after coming forward.
We did see her at times in Cincinnati do some additional stretching in her gold medal match. Ooh.
That was an excellent
misdirection.
ball.
It looked like that ball just died.
Well, excellent ball there again from Seving. Hard and deep to the backhand of Jardim.
Seving goes into the end change, leading 8-6, but Jardim staying with her step for step. Coming up next here on Championship Court, the gold medalist from New York, Armand Bhatia, will be taking on Will Sobek. That's a tricky and intriguing matchup in the round of 16 on the men's side.
Yeah, Sobek and Bhatia played against each other in Cincinnati earlier this year. That was when Bhatia was coming through from the qualifiers.
And Bhatia possesses tons of pop off of the paddle. That one will be fun to watch. This one's been fun to watch as well, but something to continue to watch is Seving. You see the right knee there. And I'm not saying this is the issue, but as a woman of a certain age, I recognize the feeling of needing to pop a joint sometimes.
I mean, you're a little older than Sofia, though. So
that's why I said of a certain age. I am under no misconception that we are the same age. I am well aware that that is not the case.
8-6. No.
Simone gives me hope, though.
No. I'll recall. 8-6. Point.
that ball just sailed there on Jardim. Big serve there from Seving.
Is forcing Jardim back into the net short. It's a 4-point lead as Seving reaches 10.
Yeah, Jardim going for an ambitious drop shot right there.
Listen, every ball can be a winner if you want it bad enough.
10-6.
Well, I say ambitious just because it's tough into the wind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Jardim knew it.
Crossover on the volley right there. Jardim
And just
catching the right heel.
A matter of inches between a foot fault and what looked like a winner. Goes long, and Seving now in control, up 12-6 here in this decisive game number 3.
Nice overhead, nice footwork there from Seving. You know, Jardim can match up with Seving forehand to forehand, but Seving just a little bit more power on that backhand, and that's kind of where Jardim is falling short right now. Seving continuing to isolate or to target that backhand of Jardim.
Oh.
Oof.
Side out.
It was indeed wide off the paddle of Seving. It's a point for Jardim, having a little extra fun here on Championship Court.
Well, Seving had basically given up the point, wasn't expecting Jardim to volley the ball straight back to us. So Jardim having a little fun at her own expense right there as well.
Didn't come up the way that she wanted to, and it brings up a match point for Sofia Seving. Tried to bump it back down the line, pushed it just a bit wide, so the door's still open for Jardim, however slight.
8-14.
Aggressive approach by Jardim. This isn't over yet. 5-point game, but Seving frozen at 14.
Well, we've seen bigger comebacks from here before, so with rally scoring, nothing's out of the question. So with a forehand like that.
Oh, what a combination from Seving to get back on serve.
A big forehand there from Seving.
And then the recognition to know that the point was not over. It was going to be coming back to get in place for the overhead put away. As Seving will serve for the match for a second time. This time she's able to consolidate. Seving was tested by Simone Jardim, but the top seed is through to the semifinals. We will hear from Sofia Seving when we return here on Championship Court.
"16 years from today, Greg Gerstner will finally land the perfect cannonball. Unsuspecting friends? Check. Epic water displacement? Big check. A work of art that's only possible because Greg is already meeting all these same people at AARP volunteer and community events. They'll keep Greg active, involved, and mischievous, and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
This is pickleball.
It's fun.
It's exhilarating.
It's healthy.
It's how I met my friends.
It's how I met my community.
It's how I met my goals.
It's how I won it all.
Pickleball is for all.
Become a member for free at usapickleball.org.
You're 0 for 15 against your daughter because of your toenail bruises and blisters. But she doesn't care because she's got the win. So what do? You get RTP socks. With small grip pads inside and out, your feet will be planted and pain-free. So the next time you can show her that her old man still got it. Nice shot.
And that would be a W for me.
Shouldn't have told you about those socks.
Yeah, that's what you get for holding out on me.
Double or nothing.
All right.
Road to Pro, official sock of the APP Tour.
The APP is sponsored by Skechers Pickleball. Experience comfort that performs. Lake Hold, the official and exclusive court surface of the APP Tour. And Classic Pickles, official pickle of the APP Tour.
Well, after dropping game one to Simone Jardim, the 1 seed Sofia Seving moving on, taking games 2 and 3, 15-7, 15-9. She's courtside with Dorian Croft in our Franklin post-match interview.
Thanks, Chad. Sofia, congratulations. Yet another semifinal for you here on the APP Tour. You dropped the opening game. She finished that strong. What was the major adjustment that you made in games 2 and game 3?
Well, I think I started my first game against the wind on this side, so I was really struggling. I felt like her ball was just coming at me so fast, and I couldn't really do any damage. She played really well throughout the entire match. I know she's a great player and a great competitor, so I was expecting some long points. I'm a little winded for sure. But I think my biggest adjustment when I went to this side, I just said, I need to hit through the ball more, just follow it in, be a little bit more aggressive and just believe.
We definitely saw that, a byproduct of your ground strokes. Lots of power coming off the paddle. I do have to ask you about the knee. We saw you grab at it a little bit, stretch it out. How is that going to affect you, if at all, moving forward?
I'm used to knee pain. I've been dealing with it for so long. I honestly might get it taped before my next match. Just ice it a lot today, and yeah, pray for the best.
Well, certainly prayers for you, because we want to see you back out here in the semifinals. Congratulations, you are moving on. We've got men's singles action coming up next here in Newport Beach.